Judicial findings. The juror's contentions. I'm a man of logic, me, and having considered all the evidence, the defendant must logically be guilty. I do agree that gas is far too expensive. I can quite understand why the man would want to avoid paying. The stuff explodes and it can poison you. It's absolutely lethal, gas is. What's that got to do with anything? What? Gas doesn't come free. It costs a fortune to deliver it around the city and maintain the pipes. Truth be told, the tea my wife serves up for me is a little sketchy at times. What's that got to do with what? If nothing else passed the victim's lips that night, there's no other explanation, is there? I forget what voices I do for these characters. Well, affectations anyway. I do feel that perhaps personal opinion about gas and its supply has influenced decisions somewhat. Yeah, a little bit. But never mind. No, you really should mind. The truth is, our counter-argument wasn't as unsaleable as we'd hoped. And Mr. Shakespeare was poisoned. There can be no doubt of that. Then how are we supposed to turn this around? I think we need to establish the method by which Mr. Shakespeare was actually poisoned. Our only hope is to demonstrate that to the court incontrovertibly. But that's surely almost impossible at this stage. If we don't manage it, though, Mr. Natsumi will be found guilty and will create a time paradox. No delays, counsel. Proceed with the summation examination. The defense's rebuttal. I'm a man of logic, me, and having considered all the evidence, the defendant must logically be guilty. The amount of things we've got to go through here, we've got to press them all, because I've got no clue at this point. The only thing I've got something maybe to question on is the pipes. Because they keep going out, like the gas keeps going out, so there's something dodgy with the pipes. Or, well, there's not something dodgy with the pipes, there's something else going on that she could maybe highlight. Maybe. So I'm a man of logic, and having considered all the evidence, the defendant must logically be guilty. Let's press. Hold it! All the evidence, you say? That's right. And there's no room for doubt. It's all pointing at that Japanese man with the big mustache, says the Englishman with the bigger mustache. Which means we need to show the man some new evidence to make him change his mind. If only we had that kind of evidence. Don't worry, the summation examination has barely started, really. Perhaps there'll be a shift in the situation that shows an existing piece of evidence in a new light. Let's hope so. To start with, though, I need to find some way out of this deadlock. Nothing really there at this point. Man of my logic, I've considered all the evidence the defendant must logically be guilty. There's not enough to go on there. I do agree that gas is far too expensive. I can quite understand why the man would want to avoid paying. Yeah, okay. This isn't time or the place to be discussing the price of gas, madam. But really, think of the injustice. Air is a gas, and air is free. Why should Altamont gas cost money? It makes my blood boil. I can feel myself becoming more ruthless than ever. This isn't the time or the place to be ruthless either. If I might interject here, go ahead. Yes, madam. It seems my fellow juror takes issue with the price our company charges for gas. But that is precisely because of thieves like this man that the cost goes up. Oh, what a beastly man. That unkempt mustache, those hunched shoulders, poisoning tea and stealing gas, utterly unforgivable. No, No, Mr. Natsumi isn't the one who's been stealing gas. I'll thank you not to go adding on more crimes. Mr. Natsumi hasn't been poisoning tea either. Well, anyway, I've quite made up my mind. It's as made up as the price of gas. Oh dear. The stuff explodes and it can poison you. It's absolutely lethal gases.
Hold it!
Could we please talk about the poison rather than the gas, do you think, sir? Well, if you like. I mean, to be honest, I'd take poison over gas every time. You'd take poison. What I mean is, poison can only poison you. It doesn't explode, does it? Goodness me, what are you talking about? Set him straight, please, lawyer man. Well, it's certainly true that poison isn't prone to exploding. But I think you'll find poison also can't light or heat up a room. Ah, you're right. I hadn't considered that at all. Young lawyer man. Yes? You have a good head on your shoulders. We could use someone like you as our company's legal representative. Well, I wasn't expecting to pick up more business in the middle of a trial, that's for sure. Anyway, point is I haven't had the best experience with gas companies in the past. Gas doesn't come free. It costs a fortune to deliver it around the city and maintain the pipes.
Hold it!
Alright, so the pipes is the only thing I'm really thinking about here. Can we refrain from all this talk of gas? There's an all-out attack underway here, in case you hadn't noticed, against my company's gas. And I'm supposed to sit here and take it, am I? I don't think so. She's really buzzing now. All I've heard about our wonderful fuel is explosions and poisonings. What about electricity, What about getting electrocuted? What about that? A little explosion here and there is nothing in comparison. An explosion could hardly be described as nothing, madam. Nevertheless, the theft of your gas is deplorable. My point exactly. But the gas thieves aren't even the worst of our enemies. We have far more devious reprobates to contend with on a daily basis, you know. More devious? Who, madam? Other gas companies, of course. Other gas companies? Not quite what I was expecting. We generate gas and deliver it to our customers fair and square. Indeed. Nobody is questioning that, madam. Altamont is an exemplary gas company. But there are other unscrupulous gas companies here in London that don't even have any gas at all. What? But if they don't have any gas, how do they go about selling it to people? You wouldn't think it possible, would you? But they steal our gas, you see, and sell it. They steal your gas? How on earth is such a thing possible? Gas companies like ours deliver gas to people's homes via a network of pipes. But these devious reprobates secretly disconnect our pipes and divert our gas into their own rotten pipes. They then make a contract with the household supplied by those pipes and take money from the precious gas that's rightfully ours without us even knowing. And they're diverting gas into their own pipes legally. What a brazen form of theft. When we visit customers' houses to collect the money from their meters, we always have to check whether or not one of those devious companies has been up to its tricks. Well.
Excuse me.
Do you have something to say about that juror number 3? Oh, Collie. You mean me? I'm terribly sorry. I was just thinking to myself. I really did catch him off guard there. Thinking about what the lady next to you was saying, correct? Well, yes. I just got a little riled about it recently, you see. Go on. An Altamont gas worker visited my house the other day to investigate the pipework. We need to ask for your cooperation while we carry out a secret check on your property, sir, the fellow said. So I let him in. And do you know what he did? I'm afraid I have no idea. Please tell us. He proceeded to take one of my lights off the wall. Then he grabbed the exposed mouth of the pipe, started blowing in it. What do you think you're doing, young man? You're giving away company secrets there. Oh, please, everybody knows. And it was very nearly the death of me, I could tell you. What do you mean? I'll explain if you don't mind. As I said before, these unscrupulous other gas companies connect their customers to our pipe network. Yes, but how does blowing into the pipes come into it? Obviously, there's gas in the pipes, and it's at a fairly low pressure. By blowing air through the pipe, you can make the pressure drop temporarily. And if you do that, any lights connected to the same pipe will flicker for a moment. I see. In other words, if upon blowing into the pipe, the lights of an adjacent property that has no contract with your company flicker, you can know that these devious scoundrels have been meddling with the pipes. Exactly, my lord. That's it in a nutshell. It's the reason why we have teams of workers going around neighborhoods to investigate which lights flicker. The trouble is, the particular worker who came to my house didn't know the strength of his own breath. He blew down the pipe with all his might, and you can guess what happened, can't you? Well, if he blew hard, then... Wait, you mean... That's right. The lights didn't just flicker, they went out. Along with the stove, gas started pouring into the house. What a disaster. The gas supply must have been interrupted briefly because the man blew too hard, so the flames went out. I'm afraid I yelled at the fellow. Are you trying to kill us all? I said. Yeah, come on, you can put the pieces together here now. So by disconnecting a lamp and blowing into the exposed gas pipe, which is why someone was on the wall, it's possible to extinguish lamps and stoves connected to the same network of pipes. And then when the gas starts flowing again, it just silently seeps into the room. Mr. Naruhodo, I think perhaps... Yes. This is almost certainly the clue that we've been hoping for. Juror number 3. The defense requests that you amend your statement to include that information. Oh, well, if you like, I don't mind. Well, I do. That's our company's secret method of identifying the rogues that... Like I said, madam, it's widely known already. Very well. Juror number 3, you will amend your statement accordingly. Yes, my lord. Although I'm not really sure what the point of all this is. Don't you worry about it, mate. Don't you worry about it. Blow too hard into a gas pipe and you extinguish everything in the house, and then you're in real trouble. Not get anyone to pit against it. Can I fire anything away at it? No, it doesn't seem like I can at this point. Okay, so let's see. Let's carry on with what we were doing. Let's carry on pressing for now, because I haven't got anything that really can compete with that. Truth be told, the tea my wife serves up for me is a little sketchy at times. Why is it sketchy?
Hold it!
You mean it's poisoned? That's right. It happened a tidy few times now. This is most troubling indeed. It's always days like this one when I don't get any wages. I get in at tea time, see? And I see her doing it, my wife. She gets the devilish look on her face, and she slips some white powder into my cup. You mean sugar? And you drink it anyway? I was brought up proper, I was. If someone gives you a cup, you drink it. And what happened to you? What did it taste like? It was rather sweet. It was god-awful, believe you me. Salty as hell. Oh. I was close. So she is angry and she's putting salt in it. Got it. Then I think perhaps what your wife put in your tea was salt. No. So, she doesn't even care enough to poison me properly? Eh? Unbelievable. Let's move on, please. No, but that's irrelevant. No. If nothing else, past the victims live that night. There's no other explanation, is there?
Hold it!
Does that mean that if the victim could be shown to have ingested something else, you'd change your leaning? Sorry? What's that now? Oh, I was just saying, if the victim did actually eat or drink something else on that night... What's the matter with you? Sorry? I said if nothing else passed the victim's lips that night, there's no other explanation, is there? Haven't you been listening to me at all? Yeah, there's an English expression about a pot and a kettle that's appropriate here. Compared to the other jurors who don't even appear to have anything to say about the case at all, it would seem that this elderly gentleman has been listening to the proceedings far more intently. I suppose. The trouble is, he has selective hearing. Exactly. But still, this juror may well be the key to the breakthrough that we so desperately need. What? I suppose? This is hopeless. There's no way for me to appeal to these people. I do think that the only way we shall overcome this difficult situation is by exposing the way in which Mr. Shamspeare was really poisoned. We have to prove that it happened some other way, and not via Mr. Natsumi's tea. Yes, I know. The trouble is, I have absolutely no idea how it did happen. Mr. Naruhodo, I wonder if perhaps there's something you might have forgotten. Oh? Like what? It's important to watch everyone involved and pursue people if they react to something else, to what someone else says. I did that. If you'd like me to remind you exactly what I mean, I'd be more than happy to, of course. We already did it. Once again, Saseki-san's fate is entirely in my hands here. I probably owe it to my client to hear any advice my assistant may be able to offer. So perhaps I ought to let Suzuto-san remind me. Then again, no need. I've already done it. Actually, I don't think there's any need. It's vital that we start trying to change these jurors' minds as soon as possible. Of course, I'm sure you're right. But if you decide you would like your memory refreshed, you need only ask, Mr. Naruhodo. Thank you, Suzuto. Right, so, it's gotta be to do with this guy. Right, so, blow too hard into a gas pipe and you extinguish everything in the house, and then you're in real trouble. But what could that compete with? Like, what? Do create the gases what? Blow too hard into a gas pipe and you extinguish everything in the house. And then you're in real trouble. No. Gas doesn't come free. It costs a fortune to deliver it around the city and maintain the pipes. Truth be told, the team wife serves up his for me is a little sketchy at times. He is salty. Nothing else past the victim's lips. There's no other explanation, is there? The only thing I can think of is like the gas past his lips, and that would relate to that. Let's try pressing on this, see if we get more from this.
Hold it!
When you say extinguish everything in the house, do you mean even on different floors? Oh yes. All floors are connected to the same pipe after all. That's true of every building. Because gas supply contracts are issued for whole properties. Well, I had no idea that it was possible to extinguish gas appliances simply by blowing down the pipe. It's not something we like to publicize, to be honest. But we have to carry out these investigations, as I am sure you can appreciate. Indeed. It has been mentioned on more than one occasion in the papers even. Is that so? It's been mentioned to me too, very recently. An incident involving the gas stove going out inexplicably, almost leading to someone's death. Mr. Naruhodo, I think perhaps... Yes, it's finally starting to fall into place. The secret link that joins all of these strange occurrences. That's the only thing I can think of is... Like, if there's something else that passes... No, I didn't want to go through it. Yeah, something else that passes his lips. It would be the gas itself, right? Like, because they're thinking liquid, eat. But you can ingest air, you can ingest gases. So, no need. So that's the only thing I can think we can go with at the moment. It's just that idea of like, yeah, something else passed his lips and it was the gas. And that's how it relates to you. Blow too hard to do gas and you extinguish everything in the house, and then you're in real trouble because the gas is everywhere. That's the only thing I can think of, so let's pit you against you and see what happens.
Objection!
These two statements clearly contradict each other. Good gracious. To whose statements do you refer, counsel? Juror number 6. Did you hear what juror number 3 just said? Eh? What? Yes, of course. I heard him mumbling about something or other. There is another explanation here, I believe. Something besides Mr. Natsumi's tea did, in a manner of speaking, pass the victim's lips on the night in question. Yes, it's the gas. What? What explanation? I wonder, did the police check the mouth of the gas pipe feeding the wall light at the scene? To see if there were any traces of poison there. I was curious to see what your floundering would result in this time. But the mouth of a gas pipe? Scotland Yard have enough to do without exploring such irrelevance. What a piece of work is a man. What are you trying to say, Mr. Shakespeare? What speakest thou? Prithee, is it not strange and strange? And that is what I say to thee, sir. I thought I'd been quite clear, but let me put it another way. The strychnine could have been on the mouth of the gas pipe that feeds the wall lamp in your room. And that is how the poison came to enter your body. Good lord. A gas pipe? I should check my bag. I should check my gas pipe. Are they tasty then, gas pipes? Is that what he's saying? Or is the gentleman suggesting that the poor man was so desperately hungry he tried to fill his belly with gas? Perhaps no actress would perform a kiss scene with him, For shame, madam, speaking thy fancy. You wanna fix that? I assure you I'm not such a buffoon that I have to kiss pipes.
Objection!
You indeed do. This is no summation examination. This is a farce. The prosecution will not stand for any more of my learned Japanese friend's conjecture. To begin with, the lamp in the victim's room is high on the wall. In order to have placed his lips to the pipe that feeds it, he would have to be a contortionist. These are empty assertions. There is no possible proof that the man did as you say. I have proof.
Objection!
It's true. I have no proof that Mr. Shakespeare put his lips to the pipe. However, I can say with some certainty that on multiple occasions. So wait, I'm just trying to piece it all together. It's like where it's going with this. This isn't where I was thinking it was going. So wait, Mr. Shakespeare is putting his mouth to the pipe to blow out the gas to try and kill Mr. Natsumi? By gas poisoning? So then the room is vacant? So then he can get inside and find something left by the convict. That's what I'm thinking's going on. So who put the strychnine on the pipe? The only thing I can think of from that, based on everything we've gone through this, is Olive Green would hold a grudge against Shakespeare. If Shakespeare's trying to do this, Shakespeare would have killed whoever was in there previously, which was her boyfriend. The person she was in a relationship with that I've forgotten the name of completely. What's his name? Him, Duncan Ross. Yeah, it's like he died due to gas poisoning. But then Mr. Natsumi moved in, which really screwed over his plans. That's all I can think of at the moment. But then the question comes in, how did Olive Green get in there? Oh, the key! She's got a key, hasn't she? But I thought she would have a key to the room above. There's just little pieces. We're almost there. I can feel it. There's little pieces just missing. However, I can say with some certainty that on multiple occasions, Mr. Shamspeare has been doing something in front of that lamp on his wall. Oh! And I have evidence to prove it. Alright, you got our attention, lads. I'd like to see how you can be so sure of yourself. So would I. Let's see this evidence then. Now that I've got the jurors here, I need to make this opportunity count. This is the proof that time and time again, Mr. Shamspeare stood in front of his gas lamp. Right, so we want this. Handprints on the wall. Traces of handprints on the wall discovered using the skin print seeker gun. There are multiple prints on either side of the hanging picture.
Take that!
What the? These are... Wait, what are they called? Yes, skin prints that were found at the scene. Skin prints, Counsel? I've never heard of such things. The Justice Ministry is currently assessing whether or not to permit fingerprints as evidence in court, however. My lord, this is an exciting new forensic technique developed by the great detective Mr. Herlock Sholmes. It reveals all of the places that Mr. Shamspeare touched in his room. I've never seen anything like that. I mean, that's black magic, isn't it? Well, anyone could invent something like this. It's a great Sholmes fellow, that's for sure, yeah. I agree. This month's edition of Engineering Thumbs was quite fascinating. We found skin prints in many places that you would expect. On the table, on the costumes. However, Mr. Shamspeare also appears to have been touching some very unexpected places in his room. For example, here, around the hanging picture there, indeed multiple handprints appear to be visible. Well, I wonder, could he have been appreciating the artwork perhaps? At first, my colleagues and I thought the same. However, imagine standing with your hands where those prints are, and you would find yourself directly in front of... Oh! I don't believe it. The gas lamp. Though the reason why isn't immediately obvious, it's clear that Mr. Shamspeare has regularly been standing with his hands to the wall in front of that lamp. Right, what have you been up to, you nut? I'd ask the court to recall juror number 4's earlier statement. Me? What did I say? You said that blowing into a gas pipe would make the lights in the entire building flicker. And now if you recall juror number 3's statement. What? Me now? When the gas worker who visited his home blew with too much force into the pipe, it caused all the lights and the gas stove to go out, and gas to start leaking into the rooms. Obviously, that incident was an accident. However, the simple fact is, if Mr. Shamspeare were to have blown hard into the gas pipe here in his room, he could have extinguished every other light and gas stove in the building at will. Crikey! Are you suggesting that the man purposely caused the gas to...
Objection!
Whilst I'll acknowledge that the prosecution is required to remain silent during a summation examination, I must toast my learned friend's utter disregard for the letter of the law. What is the meaning of this, Lord Van Zykes? This curious photograph, or whatever it is, presented by the defense, these so-called skin prints? Clearly, that cannot be accepted as any form of usable evidence in this case. But it's an exciting new forensic technique, developed by a great detective. It's nothing. A mere toy developed by an amateur sleuth with too much time on his hands. Certainly, even research of this nature by the esteemed Mr. Sholmes cannot be recognized by the court as formal evidence here. It's fair. But... Please, my lord, if I may. Miss Susato, it was not the defense's intention to submit the skin prints as formal evidence. We merely wish to present the results of the great detective's investigation of the scene as a tool by which to explain the possibility to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Damn you! And if the trial were to come to an end now, we should never learn the truth behind these mysterious handprints that everyone has now seen. I don't believe we can allow that to happen, and I'm sure the jurors would agree. I wanted the last one to be like, ding? You're right. Whether those strange handprints are a significant clue or not, it's down to us to decide. Juror number 3. Oh yes, I do declare the great detective's investigation results should absolutely sound fascinating. And I want to hear what that shady actor fellow has to say about these shady handprints. Well, oh well. What's the matter with you two? That was foolhardy. Well, I did say, didn't I? I don't like to break a promise. No, wait. You hurt his lordship. It's not fair. Well, stalemate. Oh, well done, Mr. Naruhodo. If just one more juror changes his or her mind, Mr. Natsumi's trial will have to continue. Thank you, Miss Susato. But I couldn't have done it without you. Oh no, it was you who'd identified the clue after all. This is very much your success. Why, Mr. Shamspeare? You seem to be losing your composure. Just one more juror, Mr. Naruhodo. You can do it. Very well. Continue, counsel.